Hello again. Welcome to Verbling again. And I am Teacher Oakley. Again. Okay, in this class, we're going to play around with tag questions. I'm going to talk about them a little bit of lecture, a little bit of practice, just practicing different types of tag questions. And then finally, we will end the class by getting to know each other a little bit by using tag questions to ask for, a little information about each other and using tag questions in a practical way. So a mixed bag, actually, and when you talk about tag questions, frankly, you have to consider a lot of things. They're simple but complicated at the same time. A tag question is, for example, it's going to rain, isn't it? It's going to rain. Simple statement. Usually tag questions are very simple statements. And then, comma, isn't it? The negative tag. All right, or it can be, it isn't going to rain, is it? Can have a negative statement with a positive tag. So we have to look at the verb usage. We also have to look at the intonation. Is very important when you're talking about tag questions. It can make a big difference. Now, depending on why you're using the tag question, what the use is, kind of possibly not, possibly will dictate your intonation, how you have to say it. Okay. Hello, Anatoly.
Hello, Clay.
How are you? Is it Saturday already?
Today is a walk of day.
Oh, okay. Well, great.
Day off, probably.
Yeah. Day off. Yeah, that's right. That's good. Yeah, oh, it's a day off. Oh, nice. Well, great. Congratulations. Good for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Nice to see you. An unexpected surprise. Okay. All right. We got a few things to do here and a few things to look at. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about tag questions, and maybe we'll definitely, not maybe, we will definitely practice forming some, and then we'll try to use some in a conversational manner. Okay, I'm going to do a little screen share here with you to talk to you about tag questions a bit. First of all, okay, true enough, we use tags or tag questions in spoken English, but really they have no place in formal writing. They just don't really make sense in written English. Okay, sometimes they're an actual question, and sometimes they're not really a question, but basically a way to keep a conversation going. So obviously, in that purpose, they wouldn't work in written English. So it's very mechanical and simple, really, to make a tag question. To make the tag, first of all, what am I talking about? A tag and a tag question. All right, let's look at one here. It's beautiful, isn't it? Okay. The whole thing is a tag question. When I refer to the tag, that's this part at the end. All right, that's called the tag. So to make the tag, we use the first auxiliary, or, okay, in this case, it's simply the verb to be. All right, it's beautiful, isn't it? He has been, hasn't he? Okay, has is the auxiliary verb, has been. So we use has in the tag. If there happens to not be any auxiliary, really it's the same exact thing we do with other questions or with negatives in simple tenses. We are going to use do, does, or did. Actually, exactly the same as we normally do for simple tenses. Okay, with a positive tag, with a positive sentence, we make a negative tag. So it's beautiful, isn't it? Keep trying, Igor.
I had the same problem, and I changed browser from Google Chrome to Safari, and it started to work.
Ah, really? Okay. Well, that's a valuable tip for any of the viewers out there. Thank you. Thank you very much, Anatoly. That's good to know. Perhaps you guys who are having problems getting in, you might want to change the browser. That's an excellent suggestion. Igor, you spoke too soon.
Hello?
Hello, now I can hear you. You spoke too soon. Last class you said, I didn't have any problems.
Yeah.
Oops.
I got you now.
Okay, here's where in English we would say, last class, let me explain to Anatoly or any viewers. Last class, Igor said a bunch of people had a little bit of an issue getting into the class, and Igor said, oh, I didn't have any problems at all. So in English, as a joke, I might say famous last words. All right?
Well,
ironically.
I didn't say I have any problems at all. Just I haven't been having problems for 2 days.
Okay. Well, still.
But right now, I have them again.
Yeah. Still.
Sorry, what was this tip from Anatoly you were talking about? I didn't hear it.
I had the same problem 2 days ago, and I switched browser. I have on my computer 3 browsers: Safari, Google Chrome, and Firefox. In that case, I had a problem with Google Chrome, and I switched for Google Hangout to Safari. But for example, and now I use Safari for Google Hangout and Google Chrome for open Google Docs, because I use Google Docs for keeping class material during the class.
Sorry, you're saying the problem with the Google Chrome.
Yes, but you can. I had a problem with Google Chrome in join Google Hangout. Because,
I got
you. Okay, that's strange. I don't know. They're probably, or I hope that they're probably updating or something.
Well, he's probably right, because I have Google Chrome right now. So maybe that's the issue.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to our tag questions. All right. I believe I was talking about forming a tag. Okay. With a positive sentence, you make a negative tag. It's beautiful, positive. Isn't it? Negative tag. And the opposite is, of course, also true. Let's look at some of these tag questions, because I want to point out. Now, I said that, okay, sometimes it can be an actual question. All right, okay, for example, it's going to rain, isn't it? I use final rising intonation to show that I am not sure of what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's going to rain, isn't it? I have rising intonation at the end of the sentence. In this case, it's actually a question. I don't know. Perhaps I can use falling intonation, it's going to rain, isn't it? To show that I'm sure. And all I'm really trying to do is elicit a response from you. I'm trying to get you to answer just to continue the conversation. Now, in a statement like that, okay, maybe it's a question, it's going to rain. Well, that's obviously something that's not always predictable. So that could obviously be a question, or it could be a statement if it's very dark and cloudy, you know, or who knows, maybe I'm just a pessimist and we were planning to go to the beach. It's going to rain, isn't it? Everything bad always happens to me. Who knows? But it could be a question, or it could be really just a statement to continue conversation. In some cases, really, that's just not true. For example, why on earth would I ever say, it's beautiful, isn't it? Does that make sense at all, really? I mean, why? What is the statement, it's beautiful? Anatoly, what would you consider that to be?
It is our attitude to that person, for example, or that view.
Yeah, exactly. It's an attitude, it's an opinion. So, quite obviously, unless we're crazy, we are going to believe or trust in our own opinion. It would be very strange to express an opinion which you totally did not know if you believed or not. I mean, it's possible to do that. I'm not sure if I think, okay, or you could say, I'm conflicted about the idea. Yeah, you could express it that way. That's true. But for the most part, you're not going to express an opinion and then question your own opinion. That seems kind of ridiculous. So when we express an opinion, it's going to be very normal to use falling intonation. It's beautiful, isn't it? All right, I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. Look at that view. It's beautiful, isn't it? Of course I'm sure, so I'm going to use falling intonation. Many other cases, again, it can be either way. Another such scenario where it just really doesn't make sense to use rising intonation. Okay. Here we go. You stole money. Didn't you? All right. Okay. And by the way, it would have a question. This is how you wrote it. You would write it. It is a tag question. By the way, this is an example of a tag question with no auxiliary verb. We have simple present tense. So in the tag, we're going to use a negative, but we're going to use do, does, or did. In this case, did not. All right, that's how it works when we don't have an auxiliary verb in the statement part of the tag question. Okay. Now, thinking about intonation for this one. You stole my money, didn't you? Why on earth would I say, you stole my money, didn't you? That really doesn't make sense. What is this, Igor? What kind of statement is you stole my money?
Accusation.
It's perfect. That's exactly correct. That is an accusation, and if you're going to bother to accuse somebody, you're not going to do it in a questioning fashion. It would be very, very odd. All right. You've always hated me, haven't you? It sounds very, very peculiar and comical, almost funny, because it's so ridiculous. All right, so in some tag questions, when what you're expressing, pretty much because of what it is, an accusation, an opinion, there's just really no choice but to use final falling intonation to show that you are actually sure of your opinion, because it only actually makes sense. Okay. Also, we talked about using the tag, using the auxiliary verb like has here, but also same thing goes for modals. You can, can't you? Now this one, okay. Let's actually talk about some of these. Sure. Erat, hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? Welcome to the class.
Fine. Thank you.
Terrific. Nice to have you aboard. Okay, let me ask you guys, let's look at a few of these. Let me ask you guys, would this be falling intonation, final falling? Would it be final rising, or could it be either? Anatoly, let's start with this one here. Okay.
Yeah. You can't you? I think in the middle, can't you? When the intonation.
Okay. Wait a minute. In the middle, you can, can't you? Either way, it's going to have slightly falling or slightly rising. I mean, sure, you can emphasize by using a higher or a lower intonation. That's absolutely true. But
Rising, I tend to answer that it is rising, but I'm not sure.
I think it depends on the situation. I think it could be either. All right, you can help me, can't you? I'm moving next Saturday. You can help me, can't you? I really want to know. I really need your help. Okay. If it's something that I think the person obviously can do, okay, I'm gonna throw you into the water. You can swim, can't you? Oh, maybe that would be a question too, actually. Come to think of it, maybe that's a bad example. You can, can't you? All right. If I'm talking about an ability, and I think the person, I'm reasonably sure the person has that ability, I might use falling. I think that could be either way. Okay. Igor, how about another maybe common one? How about this one?
No, don't you?
You know him, don't you?
Don't you? Okay. You know him, don't you? What do you think?
Who's speaking?
Depends who's speaking. Yeah. Depends who is speaking. Okay, rising or falling? Could be either, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Erat, what do you think of this next one?
What I must to do? I must write. I must read the sentence. It isn't very good, is it?
Is it? Okay. Now, what we're trying to discern here, Erat, is we're talking about how these types of questions can either be spoken with a rising pitch, a rising tone at the end, or a falling tone. We use a rising tone to make it a question, really, truly a question.
Yes.
And a falling tone means I'm just making a statement. All right, so we just looked at a couple examples. You can, can't you? Would probably be a question, but it's possible it could be just a statement. You can, can't you? All right. I would see
it's positive.
All right. It could be spoken either way. How about this one? Yeah.
It isn't very good, is it? It's negative sentence.
Okay, but would I have rising? Would it make more sense to say it isn't very good? Is it? Or would it make more sense to say it isn't very good? Is it?
First one.
You think so? Okay. I kind of tend to disagree because it isn't very good as the speaker's opinion. So if the speaker has an opinion, I guess there's a possible conception of, okay, I made a cake and maybe I'm not sure if it's good. I haven't tried it yet. I guess it could be a question, actually. There's a possibility. But for the most part, when we give an opinion, we kind of know our opinion. So, all right. All right. It's not impossible that this could have rising intonation. All right. It can't be, can it? Okay, all right. In this case, all right, this is another one. I don't know. It just seems much more likely it's actually a question. Okay, normally forming the tags, we already talked about how to form it. You use the auxiliary in the tag. If there's no auxiliary, you use do or does. But like this, Jenny doesn't know James, does she? Okay. Notice slightly that he won't do it, will he? All right. It may seem like we should be using do, but actually won't is the contractions for will not. So that's the auxiliary. We use will. The verb to be, there isn't an ATM there, here, is there? Here, there. Sorry. Notice this construction, however. Let's have a cup of coffee, shall we? This would be very normal. All right? It's a little peculiar because I'm using the modal, shall. This is very normal. This is polite language, okay? It's very normal to make an offer or a suggestion by using shall. Let's have a cup of coffee, shall we? Okay. Generally speaking, to reply, you're going to use the same auxiliary. So it's beautiful, isn't it? You would reply, yes, it is. Okay, is, using the verb to be. It isn't very good, is it? No, it isn't. In fact, it's terrible. Okay, notice something peculiar here. Okay, it's beautiful, yes. All right. What if it wasn't beautiful? No, it isn't. It's beautiful, isn't it? Okay, no, it isn't. It is possible, even if the person asked a tag question with a falling intonation, even though they're sure, they could be wrong. It is still possible to answer no. All right? Keep that in mind. Your name's Henry, isn't it? Anatoly, your name's Henry, isn't it?
No.
No, it isn't. Are you crazy? Okay. All right. So you can answer in the negative way. Okay. Okay. All right. Notice the negative tag. It isn't very good. Is it? No, it isn't. Notice if you answered positive to this, you would just say, yes, it is. What you're really, a way that I think about this, even native speakers get confused answering tag questions, in particular negative statement tag questions. Here it is. Here's one way to think about it to make it simpler for yourself. Don't try to figure out the logic. Just answer the positive part of the question. It's beautiful. Yes, it is. No, it's not. It isn't very good. Is it? Answer the positive tag. Is it? Yes, actually it is. No, actually it isn't. All right. just answer the positive part of the tag, and you're all set. Don't confuse yourself with double negative.
Sorry, may I ask what kind of mistakes natives do when answering these tag questions?
Yes, they get confused. It isn't very good, so they think they have to say it isn't very good. They think they have to say yes, it isn't very good.
We must say no in this situation.
That's correct. Right. You're answering this. It isn't very good. You're not answering that part of the question. You're answering this part of the question. But native speakers often, it's very common for native speakers to get confused and always answer this part of the question. So they never have a problem with a positive statement, negative tag. That's never the problem. But the negative statement, positive tags sometimes confuse native speakers. So, all right, you guys now know something many native speakers don't know. Or they get confused by. Okay. All right, let's see if there's anything else here. Can we practice? Okay, falling and rising. We already talked about this. I think there's one more point here. All right. Well, no, I think I've pretty much covered it all. This is just saying it in a different way. Let's practice. Okay, well, here's another example. The answers to the tag questions are the true answers. They may or not be the expected answers. Here's another way to think about it. All right, when you answer a tag question. All right. David Sperling isn't married, is he? Yes, he's married. Okay. David Sperling has 2 sons, doesn't he? No, he has 1 son and 1 daughter. So you're going to, okay, well, that's another way to think about it. Just answer the true answers, which amounts to the same thing that I said, just reverse engineering kind of. Okay, that's it. Let's do some practice. Let's find out some things about each other. Now, go ahead and be crazy if you want to. We're just going to ask, you can talk to anyone you want to, but we're going to practice asking tag questions and answering them. Arat, you're Italian, aren't you?
No, I'm from Russia.
You're from Russia, okay. All right, thank you. Now I know. Okay, Arat, ask me a question or one of the other gentlemen.
Are you a teacher? You are? Aren't you?
Okay.
Aren't you?
All right. So you don't need to reverse. Okay, with a tag question, the first part is a statement. I understand what you're doing, and you're trying to reverse the auxiliary and the subject to form a, like we normally would in a normal question. Are you a teacher? I understand, and that is.
You? Are you a teacher?
Wait, hold, time out. That is correct in a straightforward normal question. Are you a teacher? You would be right. But in a tag question, we don't do that. The first statement, we just do normal subject, verb, object.
You are a teacher, aren't you?
That's it. Well, yes, I am, as a matter of fact. Very good. Okay, that's it. Excellent. Anatoly.
Mm-hmm. It is no logic in answering for tax questions, isn't it? Double negative questions, isn't it?
Wait a minute. I'm going to need to process that one again. Wait a minute. What was that again? Can I have that again?
It is no logic in answering for double negative tag questions in English, isn't it?
Okay, hang on. And okay, hang on a second.
It's just easy. Because you have no logic. You're using negative statement there, so it's just easy.
Okay, it is no logic.
In answering for double negative questions,
Okay.
questions.
All right. Well, first of all, what also confused me here is using the subject it. It is no logic. Can't really say that. There is no logic.
There is no logic. Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. Okay, that's much better. That was throwing off my logic. All right. All right. There is no logic in answering double negative questions. And then what is the tag? There, that's much better.
Isn't it?
There is no logic. No, actually. There's no logic in answering double negative questions, is there? Okay.
Is there? Yeah.
Yes, because there is no logic, even though you're using
negative, yes.
Okay, there isn't any logic. All right. Even though you're not using not, you are using no. So the statement is negative. That's a tricky one, Anatoly. Yeah. Ooh, that's a extremely tricky one. That used up some brain cells. There's no logic in answering double negative questions, is there? Now that is correct. Yeah, well, that's true. You don't not have to answer that question. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And how could be the answer? Could be our answer.
For your question?
Yes. No, yes. Yes. There is no logic. Yes.
Okay. Yes. There. Okay. There's no logic. Yeah, I guess so. No, there is no logic. Is there? Is there what? Is there any logic? Yes. I mean, no.
Yes, there is no logic.
Yes, there is no logic. No.
No.
There is
a logic.
There
Definite
is
logic.
There is logic. Possibly. Wow, that's a tough one. What a brain teaser, Anatoly. Good heavens. Heavens to Betsy. And this is why, okay, native speakers get confused. Even I get confused by this. All right. Igor, what do you think? How are you going to answer Anatoly's question? My gosh.
No, there isn't. Or yes, there is.
Okay. No, there isn't. Or yes, there is. Okay, I think you're correct. The true answer. Very good. I think that's how you have to answer. Good job. Okay. Wow, that was rough. All right, Igor, what would you like to know about anybody here?
You enjoy teaching immensely, don't you?
Depends. Usually. Not every second of every minute of every day, you know. But usually. Mostly. Yes, that's absolutely true. Okay, very good. Igor, you have a cat as a pet, don't you?
I do.
Okay, I was right. I wasn't absolutely sure, actually. Okay, now that's interesting because Igor's picture has a cat, so I can kind of assume he's got a cat, but I'm not really 100% sure. I can't tell you how many times I've met people here on Verbling who have a picture of themselves with an animal and then they don't have a pet.
No,
actually,
this is my cat.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Arat, what else would you like to know or state?
1 second. It is rainy today, isn't it?
Let me look. No. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's sunny. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Asking about the weather is common in tag questions. Where do we normally ask tag questions? Well, like this, when we want to find out information from each other. Arat, that's actually quite practical and useful to talk about weather. Actually, it's not going to rain today, is it? This is very normal, actually. Sometimes to ask for help. You will help me, won't you? Okay, notice how I say that. You will help me, won't you? Almost like an accusation with falling intonation at the end. Basically, I don't want to make it a question because I'm afraid that the person will very easily say no. Okay. Anatoly, what do you want to know? You can ask anyone.
Okay. 1 second. Look to my screen. Is it? It is a cute squirrel, isn't it?
It's a cute squirrel, isn't it? Who are you asking? Igor, I think he's asking you.
Sorry, what was the question?
On my screen. It is a cute squirrel, isn't it?
Well, I think it is.
I can't see. His face is turned away from the camera.
Like it's camouflaged. It's really camouflaged.
Right. It's a camouflage squirrel, isn't it? He has good camouflage, doesn't he?
Nothing's ever simple with squirrels, is it?
Oh, very good. Oh, that's an excellent example. Nothing's ever simple with squirrels. Well, usually we say with women, but okay. Nothing's ever simple with squirrels, is it? Oh, yeah, that's a good one and a very common phrase. All right. Yeah, actually, that brings up another point, and something we really kind of didn't talk about. That's a common use of a tag question as well. When we're critiquing each other, when people argue, they use a lot of tag questions, actually, to make accusations and critique. Nothing's ever easy with you, is it? Okay? You can never keep your mouth shut, can you? You're never going to pay me the money you owe me, are you? Yeah. Okay, accusations and critiques. You're never going to buy fashionable clothes, are you? Okay, all right. Yeah, okay, very common when people are arguing. You hear a lot of tag questions with falling intonations. All right. Okay. Let's see. What's that?
So it's like, you're a sorry liar. Oh, yeah.
Again? Sorry, I didn't hear.
You're a sorry liar. Oh, yeah.
Aren't you?
Aren't you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, another thing, tag questions. That reminds me. How do I do a tag question about myself? I'm handsome. How do I finish it?
Am I? Am I not?
Am I not? Okay, that's possible. I am handsome, am I not? But that sounds, aren't I? Exactly. Okay, very good. That's another little quirk I forgot to discuss. If we actually give tag questions about ourselves, we have to. It's possible to say, "Am I not?" But normally we'd say, "I am handsome, aren't I?" So, what's your response? I'm handsome, aren't I?
I am. I am.
I am. Okay. Yes, you are. See, this is interesting because we normally answer a tag question with the same auxiliary. How do we answer a tag question with do? Okay, Anatoly, you like to play piano, don't you?
No, I don't.
Very good. All right, you use don't. No, I don't. Okay, I'm handsome, aren't I? Yes, you are. Okay, we're going to have to use are. So this, all right, we use are in the tag, which of course is crazy and unusual in English, but English is crazy and unusual. I can't say I are. I are teaching the class. I are smart. I are smart, aren't I? Okay. Let's see. See if we can come up with any other unusual kind of tag questions. Anatoly?
Mm-hmm. Google Hangout had a problem last time. Isn't it? Isn't no hasn't
Yeah, exactly. So to get the tag right, you have to get the verb tense right in the statement. So that actually is interesting. Okay, wait a minute. What did you say? Google Hangout
had a problem. Hadn't it? No,
okay.
I don't. Sorry.
Didn't. No, okay, you got to be careful. When it's the auxiliary, we use the auxiliary in the tag, but when you use have as the main verb, okay, Google Hangout had a problem. Didn't it?
Didn't it? Mm.
Yeah, because now had is a main verb. We're not using it as an auxiliary.
Okay.
That's actually a very good example of an unusual tag question and confusing because of the whole have, has, had craziness being a main verb or an auxiliary. Try a future tag, Igor.
You will join a lot of Verbling classes, won't you?
Okay. You will join a lot of Verbling classes, won't you? Yeah, I have no choice. Okay, very good. Very good. Try one, Anatoly, try one with a modal. Might or could or should or would. Would?
Mm-hmm. Could we speak more about idiom, which we mentioned in the beginning of the class? Couldn't we?
Okay. Could we? Now, if you start could we, you're making a question. Could we speak about the idioms from the beginning of the class? Instead, reverse the subject noun. We could speak more about idioms, couldn't we?
We could speak more about that idiom, couldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
okay.
yes, I understood. Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Yes, we could. Yes, we certainly could. And yes, we will. But it reminds me, talking about modals, I have to, since tag questions is my priority here, just a second. I do have to say, no, if you remember when we had, we talked about, we also used tag questions. I briefly mentioned like one example of tag questions to make offers. Polite offers. Actually, it's considered very polite to use a tag question form. You will have another cookie, won't you? When we make these polite offers, it's always rising. I'm not going to offer you, oh, you will have another cookie, won't you? Like an accusation. Definitely it's going to have rising intonation when we use them to make offers, which is also, oh, you will stay for tea, won't you? Okay, offering to invite somebody over or to have something, coffee or tea or something of that nature, using you would like another cup of tea, wouldn't you? Would or will to make offers, definitely going to have rising intonation. But yeah, we can talk about a couple of those idioms. If you want to. Anatoly, do you have a question about spoke too soon, or?
No, it's just example. But it's interesting idiom because I think we can translate it легок на помине, Igor. Is it right? I spoke too soon.
I don't know. Igor? I think that question was for you. Are you there? He says, uh-oh, his cat got his tongue.
Igor doesn't hear. Does he?
I don't think he does. Maybe his cat got his tongue. Well, there's another idiom for you. If the cat's got his tongue, it means he can't talk. He's whatever, emotional, or for some other reason he can't speak. Seems his cat's got his tongue. Okay, it is kind of, you're all right, it's kind of interesting. I spoke too soon. We have this concept in English. It is interesting, and it's worth talking about for a few minutes. We have this idea in English that if we say it out loud, then we're kind of cursing ourselves. All right, we're causing bad luck. It's superstitious rot, really, but there is this kind of concept that if we say it out loud, we're cursing ourselves. You may see people do this. How is your uncle feeling? Oh, my uncle is recovering very quickly now, and they say he'll be out of the hospital in a week. Knock on wood. All right, and we knock on wood to preserve our bad luck, to prevent the bad luck from actually speaking it, from affecting us, from affecting events or affecting your uncle's health, in my example. Knock on wood. And so when somebody says something very positive, I had said, when somebody says something very positive, it's very normal to say famous last words as a commentary kind of on the fact that they're cursing themselves because they said, "Oh, I haven't had any problems with whatever." Another observer may say, "Oh, famous last words," meaning we expect bad luck to happen because now you've cursed yourself. This is very common at work, in the workplace. Somebody said, "You know, we haven't had a meeting in 2 weeks." Somebody will punch them and say, "Shut up! You cursed us." This is very common. Anatoly, is this happen in Russia? Is this kind of?
Yes, yes. I think we have similar, and I posted in the chat as a crow course. Yes. For example, if somebody said that he is going to recover, and after that his health became worse, we can say he cured. I'm not sure is it how we can use it in past. He caught about his health.
Caught about his health. Oh, I get it. Okay. All
right. I think, you know, he has some kind of vague definition of this, but we just say we have a verb for what sounds crows do. What do they?
Okay. Yeah, in English it's caw. That's right. So the past tense it would be cawed.
So like he caught it upon. Like he caught it upon. We say he caught it upon.
Okay.
So like he caught it upon us.
He caught upon us. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I've never actually seen the word caw in past tense, but I think I spelled it correctly. It follows the spelling rules I know. You would double the W's. Whoa, you would double the W's. So you would have quadruple U. Sorry. Crazy logic. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. The whole concept of you shouldn't say things out loud because then. Is there the concept about the true name in Russia? Sort of. So that if you know somebody's true name, you have kind of power. Their entire true name, you have power over them. As an idea.
No. Don't mention. Don't think about better future. Because if you are expecting to receive something, for example, gift, probably you will not.
Oh, I see.
Like superstition, yes.
Right. If you're expecting something positive to happen, like a gift or okay.
It definitely will not happen.
Okay. All right. That's okay. It's similar, but yeah. Right. Yeah. In English, I don't know, culture. It's not really something in the future. It's something either in the present tense. You just don't say it. Okay, because then it will. And it's amazing how often it happens. Somebody says, "Oh, we haven't had a meeting, stupid HR department meeting in 2 weeks," and then 5 minutes later, the HR department would like to have a meeting at 6 o'clock. It's amazing how often it happens, though. It's
Murphy's Law.
It's scary. What's that, Igor?
It's Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law, yeah, okay. Right, well, there's a similar idea as well. Okay. Murphy's Law actually works, doesn't it? Ooh. It does. Okay. How are you going to answer that one? It does. All right. Okay. How are you going to answer a tag question which you don't know the answer? Or maybe the answer is impossible to know. Okay, there's life after death, isn't there?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I was trying to throw one past you there. But
Just, who knows?
you got it. All right. All right. Well, okay, right. You answer the true answer to a tag question. So if you don't know, you say, I don't know. Who knows? It's impossible to know. You have to take that on faith or whatever. You explain it. So, good one. I was trying to trick you there. Didn't work. All right. We only have a minute left. Anatoly, you have any more tag questions for us?
Mhm. We expect. We are expecting the good day today. Aren't we?
Well, I hope. Well, I don't dare hope so. Well, there you go. I'm not sure, but now I'm afraid to hope so. I'm afraid I'll curse myself. Okay. I'm afraid it's time to end the class, isn't it? Okay. It's okay, because I'm starving and it's my lunchtime. I have not eaten yet today.
Bon
So,
appetit.
thank you very much. And I'll see you gentlemen again real soon, I hope. You guys have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
All right. Bye for now.